Most people just hold their Bitcoin, but the smart ones make it pay them. I'm talking about 30, 40, even 50% APR without even selling a single sat. No trading, no leverage, no gambling, just your Bitcoin working for you 24/7. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how this works, where the yield comes from, and how you can start earning real income from your Bitcoin holding while still holding long term. And that's really the goal of this video. If you have any asset, now again, we're just going to be touching on Bitcoin, but having your assets work for you completely changes the game, because it kind of takes away the hodl mentality, and you don't really have to worry, short term, if an asset is going up and then going down, right? Because when you're a hodl investor, you only make money if you buy here and you sell here. But if we've seen the crash recently, you're pretty much at break even for most new investors. How about in a way where you make money all the way through this? You're making money constantly. So that's this video I'm going to show you today. Again, this is just about Bitcoin, but you can take this to pretty much any asset, and I'll show you how to do that. The biggest problem people have with this is awareness. Everybody says hodl Bitcoin, but no one talks about how to make it work while you wait. I give this analogy so many times, and I'll do it until I'm blue in the face. If you have a rental property, okay, most people are smart enough to understand that to make that rental property work, not only do you bank on the asset going up, in decades time, but you put a tenant in there that pays you every single month. The problem with rental properties in real estate right now is, number one, they're so flipping expensive, and number two, in my opinion, if you're a believer in cryptocurrency, you are sleeping on a lot of gains, because cryptocurrency and bull markets can make way more gains than a real estate bull market. So you're sitting on Bitcoin that's growing in price, but it's doing nothing for you in cash flow. And in this video, I'm going to break that down. So again, I just talked about this and I'm going to talk about it again. You wouldn't buy a rental property and just bank on appreciation, would you? That would be dumb. You would take advantage of cash flow from a tenant. So why do we not do this with our assets like Bitcoin, where we can win both ways? Again, you have a real estate property, and how you win is you have the real estate property, you have a tenant, and it pays you money. So in an ideal scenario, you have a Bitcoin, and you have a Bitcoin plus 50%, and it equals money when you get the fees here, but also Bitcoin eventually going up to exception, like we already know it will be. The second thing you need to do is obviously action. I can't press the buttons for you. Nobody can. You have to click the buttons for you. I can show you what to do for free in this video, and that's what my goal is on this channel, to give you the best possible opportunities to make your crypto work alongside you, regardless of the market going up. So here's how you can earn yield without selling your BTC using DeFi pools with Bitcoin-backed liquidity pools in the safest way possible. And what I did was I grabbed a screenshot, and I'm going to click on this screenshot, and I'm going to show you all the options you can do. So VFAT, all I've done here is just type in BTC. You can find other platforms, but I just want to make it super simple, so I'm not giving you overdrive information where you're panicking. What we want to do first is we want to understand, okay, well, if we're doing asset to asset, and again, a good analogy is to do Bitcoin versus Ethereum, because those are two assets that are probably going to do well over time. Or you could do Bitcoin over a lower market cap coin like AVAX, like Solana, like Sui. You can find some of them, maybe not on VFAT. Or do you do it against stablecoins, USDC or USDT, okay? So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure, if we're trying to go for 50%, that's per year, e.g. about 5 to 4% per month, that is the goal for this one. Because again, you're not going to find 10 to 20% per month on Bitcoin. If you do, let me know, but I can almost guarantee you those yields are very, very, very short term, but also they're probably with an asset that you don't want to hold. That's the main kicker here. So what I want to do is I want to see stuff that ticks the boxes. I found one right here. This is Bitcoin against AVAX. AVAX is a solid coin that had a good bull run in 2021. If you had AVAX and you had Bitcoin, okay, you can see a pool here that is 8% wide. I want to make that a little bit wider. It's a little bit too tight for me. And I can see here the current APR on this is 160%. So again, if we're trying to go for 50% per year, okay, what I want to do is make this super, super wide. And you can see here, now I've got a 20% or 26% width, which is way, way safe against assets that go up in value and assets that go down in value pretty much together. E.g., AVAX, if Bitcoin goes up, it's going to push it a lot harder, so you're going to get a lot of appreciation there. If Bitcoin drops, like it has done recently, coins like AVAX will bleed a little bit more, but obviously AVAX is probably not going to go to zero, and if you believe that, you would choose a different asset. You can see, currently here, this is paying, and I can even go wider here, the APR is changing in real time. I can get like 36%, and I'm getting paid that 5% per month, which is about 50 to 60% per year. If you had 100 grand, okay, and 50K in AVAX and 50K in Bitcoin, this pool would make you 5K per month. Very simple, very simple. If we were to find another pool, again, let's just keep this going. There's a stablecoin pool here, CB, which is Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin, again on the base chain. Very easy to do that. If you have Bitcoin in your Coinbase account and you send it to your MetaMask or Rapid Wallet, it'll be converted to CB Bitcoin against USDC. USDC pools you have to be careful of, because if the market goes up, you're automatically going to be sold out of Bitcoin depending on your range. So if I was doing this, I would probably ride up a lot of the appreciation on Bitcoin. And you can see here with a super wide range here, you know, I'm making $7,000 a month if I had 100K in this pool. If you have less, you just do the numbers. If you have a 10K pool, you know, you make whatever the mass would be, 5%, 500, 600 bucks per month. And again, I put here, there's so many options. I'm not going to give you all the options because that is over, you know, information overload. You just come on here and just do the exact 2 pools that I just showed you today. And you can probably find better ones in 20 seconds of my research there right now. And I think that's pretty amazing. Before we even go on this video, I've just showed you how to monetize your Bitcoin using a couple of clicks of your button. Again, you can play the real estate game, but you know the difference between the real estate game and cryptocurrency? With the real estate game, you have to keep an eye on the tenant. Yes, you can pay a manager 10%, but personal experience, they really don't do anything. They're still calling you when the toilet breaks and you're still paying fees. Plus, the difference is if the tenant doesn't pay, or you get a bad tenant, or, you know, the tenant trashes the property, plus maybe 3 months, 4 months down the line, if a tenant moves, you have to find a new tenant. It's a very, very, not risky game, but it's a very annoying game with marketing, etc., communication on email, slow replies, compared to a Bitcoin pool where I could click that pool in a second of a button. You already believe in cryptocurrency anyways. So again, it's just a no-brainer in my opinion. Credibility, again, this is just a proof that we are doing this for real. We've got Grant using a combination of safe Bitcoin pools with some solid altcoin pools, some high risk shit, and it's printing. He is making, you can see here, having the most incredible time in holiday in New York. He just went to New York City I think it was a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, and he's making 2K per day GBP, about 2.3 to 2.5K USD. Again, the last 3 days, 2.5, 2.2, 2K in his best day was 9K in rewards, which is fucking crazy. Keep in mind, he has a very, very high 6-figure portfolio. You're not going to be able to create this on a 10K, 20K portfolio, but again, you just do the maths and you get there eventually. So the framework, how to start a Bitcoin pool that actually stack, the best BTC yield platforms right now. Again, we talked about that. VFAT I like a lot. Solid assets to asset pairs, taking the 50% APY set ranges. Again, you can use MetaMask and Rabi. So again, I'm not going to go in this again because I already talked about it, but basically what you want to do is you want to find good pools if you start in VFAT. Okay, that's what I like a lot. That's what a lot of our guys like a lot. Asset to asset is the most important thing. I'm guessing you don't just have Bitcoin in your portfolio unless you're a Bitcoin maxi. I'm going to presume that you maybe have 2 to 3 minimum coins in your portfolio. Ethereum, AVAX, USDC, those pools that I've just showed you there, most of them are paying minimum 30, upwards of 70% on very wide ranges, in my opinion. And then of course, you're going to have a MetaMask wallet, a Rabi wallet to connect that to your VFAT. And that is pretty much it. You let the rewards sit there. You can compound daily. You can use those free fees to, you know, I don't know, live your lifestyle or stack more pools and keep it scaling. We always recommend. Once you do this, I really recommend you start with $100. Do a $200 pool with that AVAX pool, for example, if you want to do that one. 100, put them in a pool, see how much you make. And then all you need to do is, once you get confidence of this, is start tracking your things on a spreadsheet and then go up towards your portfolio. Okay, this is how you balance yield and risk like a pro investor. Again, you have kind of 4 options when you start a pool. Option number 1 is you stack assets like Ethereum, Bitcoin, AVAX, Bitcoin USDC in wallet for long term. Option 2 is you compound this and put those fees back in a pool, which I recommend you do, by the way, because it makes the game way more fun and you can get there way faster towards your goals. Option 3, which is another good thing, which I recommend you can do as well, is, for example, you've got a Bitcoin and AVAX pool, a Bitcoin Ethereum pool, a Bitcoin USDC pool. You take those fees and maybe you have Solana, maybe you have Sui. You take those free fees, you stack them into another pool, and now you have this pool printing you that pays this pool, and this pool is now paying you as well. And then maybe you can go to another pool and another pool, and then you have this whole ecosystem of a business inside cryptocurrency. Option 4, don't recommend you do this, but you could sell rewards for cash for your lifestyle. So again, just like Grant, he is still making more than what he's paying, but his holiday, for example, in New York City, he was able to do this in literally just 3 days, a massive holiday with his wife, and he made, you know, over, 7, 8, 9K GBP, USD, whatever, while he still had pools paying for that, plus investing in assets that he liked long term. If you're a smaller guy with a smaller portfolio, delay gratification, keep stacking up your coins, and then sell for a better 2025 or early 2026. So that's really it. If you guys want to learn how to do this, like Grant and many of our other members, you can book a completely free call. I would love to have you here. Again, this is a paid product, but you do get a free call, and if it's not a good fit, absolutely fine. But if you want to learn how this works, work with me, work with Grant, work with Parker, and over 114 now other members. We'd love to help you do that. If not, hope you enjoyed the value. Peace and take care.